reason for crying is, I just want to know if I'm going crazy. If I'm hearing someone crying that isn't actually crying.
I'm crying!
All right, good.
And you're not interested in the reason?
I have a lot of work to do.
That's not answering my question!
Yes, it does answer your question. Even if I was the least bit interested in your sobbing, I wouldn't be able to pay attention because I have to focus on this letter.
So you are interested!
Go away.
You know, I feel like you're always in these bad moods. You're all wiry when you're doing the work for your clients, and all you do is sit at that desk and scribble away, so... What I'm trying to say is that I find myself putting up with your dark rain cloud of a personality far too often.
Is that the reason you were crying?
No. I've seen you write these letters 2 hours at the most. Why is this one taking you double that time?
It's a very important letter.
Who's it for?
It's for me.
What? Why?
It requires a long-winded explanation.
And will this long-winded explanation make it sound less pathetic?
I visited a psychic in town and was instructed to write these letters.
Don't you mean a psychiatrist?
No, I mean a psychic.
Since when do you go to psychics? That's so... strange.
Strange.
Not that you're weird or anything. I just meant it was utterly absurd.
Well, then don't phrase it like that. I'm not offended, but other people might be, so watch it.
What did they tell you?
She told me to write down important details of my day to help keep my mind clear for work. I just write in the form of a letter, is all.
Sounds pretty ridiculous.
It's ridiculous because I'm lying to you.
Why would you lie?
Probably utter boredom. Look, I'm done fooling. I must get back to this.
Perhaps you're lying about lying. Going to psychics. You've sunk so low since Lydia left you. It's true, isn't it?
Don't you have anything better to do?
Not really, no. Do you still talk to her?
Please leave.
How is she?
Doing well for herself last I heard.
Oh, I bet she has a train of men following her around.
I remember you mentioning you had an appointment. That's doctor's appointment.
I thought you rescheduled.
You should check your file.
You're such a good friend to me, Richard. Always watching my back, keeping me in ship shape. How right you are, dear friend. I do, in fact, have to be off.
Take your time.
So, let's start with you telling me how your day was.
This chair is dreadful. Do all your patients sit here?
You're actually the first to complain about it.
But they all sit here. They must be very polite. It's so dirty.
Did you hear my question?
My day was the same as any other day.
And what does that look like?
I wake up, I brush my teeth and hair, I get dressed, and I go and try to talk to Richard. But he's always working.
He's working.
Yes.
And how does that make you feel?
There's the $1,000,000 question.
Are you able to answer it?
I feel sad, Doctor. Oh, I feel so terribly sad when my dear friend Richard is working away in the study. Did you know he doesn't want to have a conversation anymore? He didn't even want to know why I was crying.
And why were you crying?
Oh, I can't say.
Why not?
Because I simply don't have an answer. But when I do, you'll be the first to know.
Have you made any new friends?
friends.
I'd like you to set out on a career, Sam. I think working would improve your mood and drive. Do you want my help putting together a resume?
You think I need a job?
More like a goal.
I see.
Do you want to
I think I
translate?
can handle it. Thank you.
It's my understanding you almost forgot about our appointment.
That is correct.
Don't forget about it again. These sessions are important to your health.
How right you are, Doctor.
Who is it?
An old flame.
What are you doing here?
Oh, it's so nice to see you too, Richard. Might I have some tea?
Why are you here?
Do we have to dive into issues? Can't I just enjoy your company?
Last I saw you, you were slamming the door in my face.
And last I saw you, you were trying to convince me the girl you slept with was of age. And that's not even the worst part. But never mind, right now I'd love some Earl Grey.
Where are you coming from?
New York.
New York.
I had a job there.
You had a job.
Well, I was a waitress for a time, then an escort, but I put an end to it. Those careers really damaged my self-esteem, Rich. So emotionally taxing.
Why the hell would you get into those jobs in the first place?
I was desperate.
And you still are. You're almost as bad as my brother. You're here because you need a place to stay, don't you?
Just a few days.
Oh, and there's no one else.
Everyone I asked is dead, homeless themselves, or simply awful. You're the last person I chose to ask, believe me. I was not about to pick my cheating husband, ex-husband, as a housemate.
I work.
Of course you do. I wouldn't get in the way of that. Lord knows I remember how you act when you're taken away from work.
I have a roommate.
Richard Silver has a roommate,
I'm trying to save some money.
so you have a money problem.
Oh no, I'm just as wealthy as before.
I see. Well, where is he then?
I have a people.
The only way to deal with an unfree world is to become so absolutely free that your very existence is an act of rebellion. Oh, hi Lydia.
Hello, Samuel. Good day to you.
And a good day it is indeed. Why, any day is a good day when Miss Lydia shows up.
Samuel is your roommate?
She's so intuitive, Richard! Always has been. Always will.
Would you mind giving us a moment? We're kind of in the middle of something.
Oh, anything for the gracious Lydia. I'll be in my room reading, because I do that now. I'm studying the great philosophers, and my mind has widened my intellectual scope of imagination.
Sounds stimulating.
Please, no eavesdropping.
No promises!
I'll get you that tea you insisted
Oh,
on.
forget it. It was just so I could get in the door.
What's it like to see him again?
Nostalgic.
He's a handful.
He's just as I remember him as a child.
No one else would have him.
What do you mean?
His parents insisted on placing me in my care.
You talk about Sam like he's some stray dog. He's not.
Well, I owed something to his parents.
You owed them.
Yes, they gave me a loan to start my business, and after that I flourished.
I hadn't known Marley and John who came into such money. They were always so humble when we were all kids.
Marley didn't. It was John's life insurance.
That's hideous.
It's business.
We grew up with them. They treated you like a second son.
I know. That's why Sam is here. Do you still need a place to stay?
I don't suppose I have any place else to go. This suits me fine.
Then the matter's settled. Unpack your things there, and you can sleep in my room. I'll stay in the common
Oh,
area.
nonsense. I'll sleep here.
No, I insist. I need this space to do my work. Make yourself at home.
Are you going to get back into your writing?
Yes, I'm already behind.
Dear
Mr.
Mr. Waterstein, as I have mentioned before, I seek to reach an agreement with your company and would like to discuss this deal in person. I understand your time is extremely valuable, but but this deal is one you will not be able to refuse. Sincerely, Richard Silver. So formal and stylish is his manner. I've heard such odd things about him.
Shall I just unpack my things here?
Just don't make a mess.
What are you working on now?
A letter, it's private.
Tell me.
Lydia,
It can't be that secretive. Who's the letter for?
it's for me. It's just a list.
And this contributes to your work somehow?
Of course.
Aren't you the least bit curious about how I've been since we've been apart?
Well, I'm sure you'll start bragging about yourself without a prompt, but if it means so much, I'll ask.
How goes it, roommate?
And Lydia,
Done your reading?
One can never be done. There are so many ways to read a book. Unlimited meanings to be drawn from the text.
How observant you are. Can't you just leave me alone for once?
Start at the beginning again for me.
I wake up,
I wake up,
and I'm rolling around in my bed.
and the sheets are cold.
And the sheets are cold, and a little damp from the sweat.
You were sweating.
I had a bad dream.
What was the dream about?
The sun is just rising,
And the new day was starting.
and I'm alone.
And I'm sitting in a field, and the field is so big, and I'm so incredibly small.
What happens next?
I walk over to my dresser.
I walk over to a figure.
I put on the shirt. The shirt has buttons.
He has a button nose. He asks me a question.
I do up the buttons.
I woke up that instant. The dream was over.
Do you think it was a nightmare?
Perhaps it was. I fear I'm not in my perfect mind. I don't belong here.
And why would that be?
It's not worth going over. Things will get better. You believe me, right?
it's been such a long time. Hello, my brother. Thank you for taking the time to see me.
What is it now?
I've come to see how you are. How you're doing?
I'm well.
Yes. Apparently. I heard a rumor that Lydia studied you.
It's not a rumor if it's true.
How's that going?
That's fine. She's broken. I'm courteous.
So you are.
What's the real reason you're here?
I don't have a reason.
Is it money again?
I'm sorry.
How much do you need?
Just a couple grand. Our house got fired last month and we lost clothing and food. The fire was large.
Of course it was. You live in a forest. How'd it start anyway?
It was an accident.
You're prone to having a lot of accidents, apparently.
I'm sorry.
How are the little ones doing anyway?
Are you comparing my kids to a house fire?
Well, both seem to strike holes in your bank account.
I wanted to have children.
Oh, and I suppose you wanted poverty as well.
How can you say that to me?
What? The truth? Why do you really need the money?
I told you the fire started.
Oh, yes, the fire.
I'm in a bit of trouble. I just need a couple grand and I won't bother you.
What happened?
I made a bet with one of Waterstein's workers. I was drunk in the casino in town.
Oh, right. I remember my dear baby brother still isn't over his gambling habits.
Don't patronize me. I was doing well until this happened.
How soon?
As soon as you can deliver it.
I'm making a deal with Waterstein, and I cannot have the politics of my own family involved. The money has to come from another source. I give you some, but not all. It's too much of a risk.
Thank you, brother.
Don't come back here.
Love my wife and kids. You sent your
No,
regard.
no, I'm serious.
You're always serious.
Do you want me to reconsider that?
To be or not to be. That is the
Not now, Sam.
I hadn't realized you were reading Shakespeare now.
Why, he's technically a philosopher.
I don't fancy Hamlet as much as Romeo and Juliet.
You're so romantic! I guess no one can argue a greater love story than the star-crossed lovers. What a tragedy. Wouldn't you agree?
You seem connected to it. Is there a new lady in your life?
Oh, no. Rather, my uncle killed my father, hence why Hamlet really hits home. Actually, I do need something in my life. I need a job. Are there any openings for me, Richard?
Even if there was an opening, what makes you think I would ask you to work for me?
We live together. I'm here all the time, and I'm loyal. Seems like a no-brainer.
I think the ice cream stand is hiring. I saw a sign on the way to the post office earlier this morning.
Just think about it. I'd be such a good employee.
I've thought on it. No hard feelings.
Ah! I suppose ice cream could be exciting. But you're going to regret this. You know what I think, Richard?
What?
You're afraid to admit when you're wrong.
Well, no, that's not
Aha! See?
true. I'm not wrong about this.
Do you think you could ever want children?
Lydia has a bun in the oven!
I don't.
I know how to solve this. I'll give some pages of wisdom!
I'm not pregnant, Sam.
I always wanted to be a godfather or something. Here, this page is exquisite for mothers. And here, this will do for hermits expecting fathers.
I never want children.
Never.
Never.
And you're not going to change your mind.
No. Children isn't something you compromise on. You either have them or you don't, and I prefer the latter.
I just think that's disappointing to hear, that's all.
Well, that's my answer. Someone is here. Don't interrupt. It might be important. Come in. It's open. Mr. Waterstein.
Forgive me for paying a visit unannounced. I didn't mean to see you anywhere but my office, but I'm afraid this couldn't wait.
Oh, it's no trouble. Could I offer you coffee, tea?
Whiskey?
I'm afraid I'm out.
Shame.
What message do you have for me?
Well, Mr. Silver. Seems your brother has been involved in my business and it's causing some issues.
He has.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what's happened?
He's stolen about $2,000 from me.
And it has been returned to you, not even half.
Not 1 cent.
Do you know how it came into his possession?
He stole my product. That's worth that amount he took.
I see. Well, are you aware that your workers place bets with people that jeopardize your business?
Is that what you heard, or was that what your brother told you? I don't mean to offend, but family issues are seemingly the worst thing for business. They get in the way and damage the deal. I felt as though it was my duty to come tell you in person. Your brother's actions are unforgivable.
What's going to happen to him?
Wow. If he comes up with the money, I believe I can forget about this event. If he doesn't, I'm afraid I'll have to cut the salaries of my employees. And let's just say I can't control what actions they will take because of it. Enjoy the rest of your evening. It's not the thing.
Thank you.
I trust you'll be smart about this.
Of course, Mr. Washington.
I knew we could see eye to eye. I'll be hearing from you soon.
Who do you believe?
What have I told you about eavesdropping?
You don't honestly think your brother would lie to you for $1,000, do you?
It's 2,000 and I don't know.
That man has a reputation for being crooked, doesn't he?
I cannot rely on his reputation. I must assume he's telling the truth.
So you expect me to look the other way when something bad happens?
I expect you to stay out of it. That's so hard to do.
So you like me?
I don't like you. I'm flirting with you.
So, you like me?
There's a difference between like and flirt. I'm just playing with my dinner. I'm not eating it.
I promise I taste delightful.
You know you're flirting.
I'm not flirting. I like you.
I'm flattered, but you know we'll never be capable of being together.
Capable?
We're not compatible.
Why'd you come back?
I just needed a place to stay for a bit.
How was it, though?
How was what?
The Big Apple.
New York? It was full of tourists.
What else?
It was lovely. It's a very lively place, full of young people in love and old people falling out of love. There was one couple I walked by near Central Park. I remember. The woman was so angry, she said she wanted a divorce. And the man wasn't even startled one bit. He just folded his arms and calmly inquired, whatever for. The woman went on to explain that he never left his shoes in the place she wanted him to. You don't leave your shoes on the mat beside the door, no matter how many times I tell you. And the man didn't understand why this silly little habit had led to her wanting to leave him.
Isn't he right? It does seem silly.
To anyone it would, but to her it wasn't about the shoes. It was about him keeping up with her. It was about learning something about her and showing that she mattered.
Lydia, it's just shoes by the door.
Well, it's the shoes by the door which brought on a divorce. She said he left his shoes in the middle of the hallway, right where he stepped out of them. I guess it drove her mad. I mean, I can't imagine something so small impact love so much, but I suppose that's the whole challenge. You have to learn people's habits and adhere to them.
Do you still love Richard?
Let's not talk about this, okay?
I want to talk about it.
We could never be together.
Why not?
You know why.
drop it, okay?
Dear
Dear
Mr.
Mr. Silver,
It comes with displeasure to deliver this news through writing and not in person. I'm sorry to inform you that your brother has had a terrible fall. He hurt himself in my workplace around the back. I personally did not witness this, but my workers tell me he tripped and bumped his head on the side of the warehouse. He is in need of extensive medical attention since he broke his leg and a few fingers. It's just so disheartening when these kinds of circumstances cannot be prevented. Keep in touch, Mr. Waterstein. P.S. My proposal is officially off. Some deals just aren't worth the risk.
So, it didn't go well.
What?
The deal.
It's off.
And Lydia and Sam have been showing up.
Consistently.
I wanted to talk to you about Sam. He's very unstable.
He is.
Something has entered the environment.
Something.
Someone.
Lydia.
Sam's been very disorganized. He's been telling me about a situation, obsessing over it.
What is it?
I thought I would be breaking professional boundaries to warn you, but I don't believe he's being safe. He needs medical attention beyond my care. You must help him. You must.
Don't walk behind me, I may not leave!
Sam!
Just walk in front, don't walk in front of me, I may not follow!
Sam!
Just walk beside me and be my friend!
Oh, put the gun down!
You never cared about me! All this time you're so obsessed with yourself and your career, and you forgot about me! Writing all those letters to yourself, a bunch of bullshit! You honestly think that time heals all wounds? No, it's not possible! But you know what does? Money! Money can cure practically anything, that's why I have to do this! I've been suffering for too long while you remain miserable! Miserable, and I'm sick of it! Sitting on a mountain of cash, and I'm so sick of it! I'm so sick of you waving in front of my face
Listen
while
to
you're
me.
still saying you're so unhappy!
Listen to me!
Did you hear what I just said, Richard? Did I finally get your attention? Are you listening to me now?
Yes, Sam, I'm here. I'm sorry, but
You don't know what it's like to be here, to be around all this.
Oh, but you can tell me I'm here for you.
I don't think you are. You never were.
It can change. We can change. You.
Maybe you wanted too much. But the want is in past tense. It seems I'm in fact pointing the gun at the wrong person. There's nothing you can do, Richard. Nothing at all.